Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into what is, without a doubt, the single best wide area network architecture for any large-scale business running on AWS. If you're managing serious enterprise traffic in the cloud, well, this is the blueprint you absolutely need to know.
Okay, let's get right into it. We're not just looking at some option today. No, we're looking at the definitive top-tier solution for connecting your enterprise SD-WAN to the AWS global network. This is the gold standard.
And this quote right here, this is the central claim we're going to unpack. We're not talking about a small improvement. This architecture is described as the most robust, the most future-proof way you can build your enterprise cloud network. So let's find out why it gets such glowing reviews. But to really appreciate why this solution is such a big deal, we have to understand the problem it was built to fix. For the longest time, connecting your big company network to the cloud meant you had to deal with some pretty serious limitations.
This slide lays out the pain points perfectly. The traditional IPsec VPNs. Well, they were the workhorse for a long time, but they just can't keep up anymore. You're stuck at a measly 1.25 gigabits per second, which for a large company is a massive bottleneck. You don't get real equal cost multipath or ECMP, which is just a fancy term for being able to spread your traffic across multiple connections so you don't get digital traffic jams. It's a huge problem. And maybe worst of all, they just don't play nice with modern SD-WAN setups and can't handle the huge number of routes that a big enterprise needs. Honestly, the whole system was just begging for an upgrade.
And that upgrade? Well, it has a name. AWS built a service specifically to just blast past all of those old bottlenecks. So let's meet the hero of our story, AWS Transit Gateway Connect. Now, the key thing to get here is that this isn't some general-purpose tool. TGW Connect is a specialist. It was designed from the ground up for one job and one job only, to build a super high-performance bridge between modern SD-WAN solutions and the AWS network. And it does this using an industry-standard protocol called GRE. That's Generic Routing Encapsulation. Really, just think of it as creating a private virtual highway for your data to travel through the internet. And this slide gives us the perfect way to think about it. Just imagine the Transit Gateway, or TGW, as the main router for your entire cloud setup. It's the central hub that directs all your traffic. TGW Connect, then, is like the dedicated high-speed on-ramp that gets all your SD-WAN traffic into that main router. Simple, but incredibly powerful.
All right, so we've talked theory. Now let's get to the proof. This is where we look at the hard numbers that show why this architecture isn't just a little better, it's a total game changer.
Okay. Let's start with our baseline. As we saw, a traditional IPsec VPN on AWS tops out at just 1.25 gigabits per second. For a small setup, maybe that's fine. For a modern enterprise, it's just not going to cut it. Remember that number. Now, if you just use a standard GRE tunnel, that virtual data highway we talked about, you already see this massive leap in performance, getting you all the way up to 30 gigabits per second. I mean, that's a huge improvement. But we're not done yet. And here it is. With GRE running over TGW Connect, you can hit a staggering 40 gigabits per second of throughput. We are talking about a performance jump of over 30 times what you got with the old VPN method. Now that is enterprise scale. So let's put it all together on one chart, because this really tells the whole story. TGW Connect doesn't just win on pure speed. Look at UCMP. It's fully supported. That means you get that real efficient load balancing we were talking about. And then there's route convergence. That's basically how fast your network can fix itself if a connection goes down. With TGW Connect, it is the fastest you can get. Failovers are pretty much instant. So you've got speed, stability, and resilience. And that is exactly why it's rated 5 stars and is now the mainstream choice for big companies. So we know why it's the best. Now let's take a quick high-level peek at how this whole thing is actually put together. The concept is actually beautifully simple. Just think of it like a hub-and-spoke model. Your SD-WAN appliances, from vendors like Palo Alto, Fortinet, you name it, they all plug into this central TGW Connect hub. And from there, the Transit Gateway securely and efficiently sends traffic out to all your different virtual private clouds. Your production apps, your dev environments, your shared services, they all connect back to this one super fast gateway. And breaking it down, putting it into practice, follows this really logical 3-step process. First, you build your hub, the Transit Gateway, and you attach your VPCs to it. Easy enough. Second, you create that high-speed connection itself using what's called a TGW Connect attachment. And finally, you set up BGP, which is the Border Gateway Protocol. The easiest way to think of it is as the GPS of the internet. It lets your SD-WAN and AWS automatically tell each other the best way to send traffic. It's incredibly powerful, but very structured.
Okay, let's bring it all home. We've seen the what, the why, and the how. So let's just summarize the key business benefits that make this the undisputed champ for enterprise cloud networking. What's so important to remember is that these cool tech features translate directly into real business value. Massive scalability means your network is never going to be the bottleneck again. High stability means your applications are way more resilient, with failovers that are basically invisible to your users. And you get enhanced security because you can channel all of your traffic through one central inspection point, which makes your security setup so much simpler. I absolutely love this piece of advice from the source material because it just puts everything in perspective. This isn't just some abstract theory. Being able to understand and whiteboard this exact architecture is a key skill. It shows you have senior-level expertise in cloud networking. It's practical, it's valuable, and it is absolutely in demand. And that brings us to our final question for you. Think about your own environment. Have you outgrown the old limitations? Is it maybe time to adopt the gold standard? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.